That's right, we are back up and running. Printing out, I don't know if you can tell what that is right there, that helmet. It is Iron Man himself. So before we get started, we need to replace the FEP in our, so if you saw my last video, I got a hole. I don't know if you can see it on here, but up here, I got a small little hole. What happened is some resin leaked over the vat, got under between the screen and the FEP, and then when it cured, when it's hardened, poked a hole right in there. So we got to replace this. So before we can do anything, we got to replace this. Pretty simply, just take, there are some screws and this plate goes into this. And then after you take that out, you've got more screws. You can see I've already undone them all here. So we're just gonna take them out, remove this, put the new sheet in, put it all back together, and then we could start going. It's the next day and we have replaced our FEP with a new one. I can't really tell if you can tell, but it had some lines on it when I pulled it out brand new. Hopefully it doesn't matter, but I think it'll be cool. But all right, no hole in it. We are good to go and start printing. All right, so it looks done and everything looks good. I'm so happy because I was concerned, one, that the new FEP, I never changed out the screen, so I was hoping that that would work. Two, I didn't sure that the crack in the LCD screen was gonna mess up. And three, none of this was supported, so I had to do all the supports. So I was nervous if the supports were gonna be enough, but it looks good. Let's take it off and check it out. Heck yeah, it turned out great. Look how good this looks. Oh, I'm so happy. There's the helmet. Man, I was really concerned because a lot of things could have gone wrong there. And, well, that's kind of weird. One thing I did notice is there just seems to be a lack of definition there on the other side of Iron Man's helmet. It's kind of weird. Oh, it's there. It is, the camera's not really picking it up. When we wash it, I think it'll be fine. But let's go ahead and get everything washed. And we will let everything dry and we can start putting it together. I will have to start printing the, getting a little late now, but we'll print the base tomorrow and get everything put together. All right, so here's an early test fit. We've got it printed, the base is printing right now. Don't mind my messy desk here, but you'll see most of the pegs aren't quite coming up perfect. We also had a little issue. I don't think it'll be a big issue, but for some reason on this arm, the peg kind of didn't print right, but I don't think it'll be a problem. I think we can just glue it on there. There's enough to go and just slide in there. But I'm gonna have to do a little bit of trimming on a lot of these pegs because they just don't seem to go in clean. So what I'll do is I'll just take my X-Acto knife and kind of thin down the edges here, just slice them and kind of thin it down a little bit, and then it should just go right in nice. So we're gonna work on that for a little bit. Okay, so here he is all together. I think it seamed up pretty well. We did have a finger that I somehow lost. Luckily, I was able to find it and kind of tack it back on. I think it'll be okay once it's dried and painted and everything, but looking pretty good. I think we'll go ahead and primer this guy up. I think I have to run to the store though. I thought I had red metallic paint, but it turns out this is actually more like a pink. It's called pink tourmaline. I think that's just gonna be a little bit too pink for what we need. I don't know if I want it super metallic. I don't really know. And obviously it needs to look like metal, but I think I'd rather do the gold bits in metallic and maybe just a shiny red. I don't know. All right, so here we are. He's all set up. We got this failed dice tower holding him up for now, and we got just some red mixed into our airbrush. And this is actually gonna be probably one of the easier ones we've done, just in the fact that we can just airbrush the entire thing red, and then we'll come back over with our gray and all of our accents and all the detail work. But really, we can just do the entire thing red. So we're gonna go ahead and get started doing it. Let's start in the back, just to get a good base going.
I want to see how this works.
All right, here we are. That was probably the most consistent I've been with the, hold on, cinematic mode, won't catch it. Consistent I've been with the airbrush. on the two turtles, it worked pretty. It was pretty awesome. I wasn't sure about not using like a metallic color. I went with like a satin finish, but then all the gold that's going to go over it's going to be metallic. I think it's going to turn out really good. So we'll let this base coat dry, and then we'll come in and do all of our gold and silvers and blues and all the detail work. So starting on the golden, it's not covering well. It's really spotty, and you can see a lot of the brushes in there. I really hope, now I'm just trying to go light with it and come back in darker. Hopefully that helps, but look a little sloppy right now. All right, so we did a little bit more now. It's looking a little bit better. Let it dry a little bit and put in my coats. I still don't like this like thick, goopy like finish that comes out of this metallic paint. I wish it was just cleaner, which I don't know, I'm not really sure what to do to get that to look smoother. But did a little bit of the detail work on the eyes and the arc reactor. Something I'm excited about tomorrow, I have a Gundam marker coming in. So all this panel lining is going to get done in black, which I think that's really going to make it pop. I might try to do some weathering or like some scratches, some of the metallic like scratches, like the armor parts. I got to figure out how I'm going to do that though. But it's coming together. The base is done being printed and is washed and drying, so hopefully we'll have that ready soon. Okay, I'm going to try my best to get this covered detail here. But I did a little bit of dry brushing with my favorite new paint is this color right here. This like metallic, what do they call it, pewter. It looks so cool, that finish. And I did it up under the middle parts, but I also did just some dry brushing. And look how cool it looks like here on these like hip parts right here. Just that little extra scuff. I tried to do it anywhere where there was like metal contact, especially coming out of these vents right here. Just try to give it look like that little bit of the finish has been stripped away and just give it that little scuff look. It doesn't really show up as good here on camera, but it looks really awesome. It looks really good. I'm really kind of, one things on this, I think it's turned out a little bit better than I hoped. And some of the little details are starting to make it come together just a little bit more. I think that panel lining, when I do the panel lining on a lot of these lines, that's going to be like the final little pop. So we're back. It's the next day, and our Gundam markers are in. If you're unfamiliar with what these are, so for Gundam model kits or Gunpla, they're called, these nice little, really thin paint markers can be used to do all those little panel lines. So all the way the seam lines are, you just run the little, it's a real fine tip paint marker essentially that does the panel lining. So what's going to be really nice for Iron Man's, like his mask and all these little lines and things, instead of trying to get a brush in there and getting all the runoff and everything, just use this fine tip paint marker and essentially do all those little details. So it's the next day, and it's had about a night to kind of sit, and I feel like, I don't know, walking away from it and coming back the next day, it looks even better. I think all these, again, doing the dry brushing of that metallic to kind of do like the kind of scuffing and like the weathering that we did, like here on the back and stuff. I know you, and I'll stop because you guys just saw it, but for me, coming back to it the next day, I really feel like, I don't know, it just helped because I was kind of not in a good place with it last night. When I came back today and had, you know, a night to sit there, and it looks really good. I'm really happy with the weathering. The base is done getting printed. Let's go check it out. So here is the base that I've primed. It's still a little tacky, so we'll probably give it about another hour. You can see here, this file came from the designer Sanix. So there's the website if you want to check it out, see what he's got going on. The one thing that's weird about this base, I'm not sure what all these materials are. Is this dirt? Is this rock? I'm pretty sure this is like a stone pillar. Is this supposed to be a tree or is this a rock? I don't really know. I think this is tree. I think this is tree. I think some of this is rock. And I think this is like dirt. I think this is supposed to be kind of like a dirt base. I'm pretty sure. It's kind of, when you're looking at it though, like everything looks kind of, I guess maybe a tree, but is that a tree or is that a rock? I don't know. And most of the pictures online are of the entire kit primed. I haven't really seen any of it painted, so I'm not entirely sure. But anyway, back to the marker. So you can see here, just the real fine tip on there. And then we're just going to use it on the lines. There you go, see? Nice little detail along these lines here. And that's a panel line. just do that on a bunch of these lines. Oops. Man, I'm so terrible about using this little neck thing I got. Shoot, that's the problem though. All right, so we're going to do that up a bunch of these different lines all over the place, and we'll see how it looks. Well, there. Apply on unpainted surfaces. If used on painted surfaces, the tip of the marker may clog up. Yep. We did manage to get a little bit done on the helmet and stuff, but not near as much as we wanted to before it just really stopped kind of working. So both of them. I used the gray one for a little bit till it dried, kind of clogged up. I used the black one till it stopped working. So not quite what I was hoping for in the Gundam marker department. Kind of a bummer on that. I might try to just do like the most finest tipped brush I have and try to get some of like these right here and see how that works. Here we are with the base. You can see I'm still not really sure what was dirt, what was rock, and what was tree. I just kind of started guessing and just started painting things. If it looked like it had kind of like wavy, like that, maybe it's a tree. That smooth surface there is a rock. And then I put a metal finish on the plate there. But all in all, I think it looks pretty good. And we'll let that just sit for a minute and dry. And then we'll toss on Iron Man and we're pretty much done. Here it is. Iron Man all done. It looks actually looks a lot better under the studio lights here in my display. Base didn't turn out too bad with the oddball, whatever the heck's going on. If I had to make one complaint about the model itself, it's just, I feel like a little bit more time could have been done trying to figure out what the heck was going on. It seemed like it was all just kind of a mess of different kind of pre-done assets or something they maybe had. I don't know, or maybe just a colored picture or something on the file didn't know what was what, but really good. Big pluses are all of the dry brushing I did with the metallic, I think turned out really awesome, and like the scuffs and kind of worn look around the edges. That's a really cool technique. My biggest disappointment is the mask. Looks a little better now. I tried to do a little bit of refining and fixing it. I could always, the nice thing is I did not glue the head on, so I could always print off another head and try to make it look a little bit better and swap it out. So wouldn't be a hard fix, but all in all, for my first non-turtle, I'm really happy with it. I think it turned out pretty awesome. Learned a few things. I think I might need to find a better way to do metallics going forward. Maybe put like a base coat of a normal color and then lightly brush it on. That might have been the way to go. Water it down and try to just get that metallic finish, but not just glop it all on there. I don't know. But turned out pretty cool. I'm happy with it. Hopefully my nephew likes it. This is for his birthday. Happy birthday, Gabe. He just turned 16. So hopefully he likes it and thinks it's cool. But let me know what other stuff you guys want me to see me print. I still got 2 more turtles to do. Of course, we got Donnie and Raph. I've got the other files. I'll probably do Mikey next. I've got the pretty much laid out on Shitu box. I just need to print it and everything. But let me know what you guys want to see me do next. Print and paint. And please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.